Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and today we're going to be doing a few unboxings. First is going to be the Kill Rig for the 40k orcs, and then we actually have a big box right here of Aeronautica Imperialis that we're going to be going through as well. It is now officially Saturday, and so the Kill Rig is officially out as of today, where the Aeronautica Imperialis items are available for pre-order as of today. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Kill Rig. Now, with each of these items, they have all been provided by Games Workshop for the purpose of this video. In terms of Aeronautica Imperialis, we will be doing a full written review of that edition of the game. Now, from what I understand, there's no rule changes in that version other than just adding the new units and factions. Alright, so with the Kill Rig, the 40k codex for orcs is already out. I believe that came out last week. And so with this is our Kill Rig that can be used for it. And then the question for me though is, if we were to modify this to look like it would work in Age of Sigmar, what would it play as? So far the only things I'm coming up with would be like some form of chariot. Possibly use the massive squig on there, as leading it, and then maybe put some other faction driving it. Again, don't know yet what we want to do. Now, it does come with 3 sprues total, 2 full sprues and 1 half sprue. We have the 1 base. Now, looking at the image, I mean, it looks like it's scaled down a little bit, so this is actually should be a little bit bigger than what is portrayed on the box. We also have a single small base, not sure what that's for yet. And then we have our orc decals. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at the sprues first. So this one is mostly the bodies of a few of our orcs, as well as it looks like the kind of like the crow's nest area, and then we got some of the mechanical bits. Now, looking at these, we definitely have a ton of detail. One thing I love about orc machinery in general is that it always looks like it's cobbled together with a bunch of other stuff. It's not all part of like one cohesive source. And then here we have the next one. This one's got the bulk of the giant squig creature itself, as well as most of the machine bits as well. Now, like for something like this one, that could very easily be modified to do planks of like balsa wood there, so it fits more aesthetically. And so far, I am most likely going to be doing some sort of Age of Sigmar conversion with this. But, as is, it has a ton of detail. Like with this one, it's got like a chain that's going to connect to something, and then we've got like this rocket on the end. I mean, it looks like it's meant to explode on impact, which kind of negates the need for a chain. So not really sure there, or it's meant for like maybe like a net launcher possibly. And then we got like a bunch of piping, things like that, cables. Again, the detail on this is just absolutely fantastic. I love the orky iconography, which even that looks coupled together. but I'm really curious now what the small base is for. So we have our instruction book as well as data sheet for the model itself. Okay, so the psyker looking guy who sits on top, he can be used separately. So basically it depends on if you're doing a kill rig or a hunter rig. So if you do a kill rig, then you basically have him separate. If it's the kill rig, then he's actually part of the model. So it explains why we have those two different bases. And then, you know, as always with the newer models, we have the two-toned or multi-toned assembly instructions that identify, you know, what the last piece installed was, so it's easier to identify, you know, where the next piece is going. And they do have a couple points that they actually recommend painting before adding to the main rig itself. And this is mostly for like the different gunners and drivers and things like that. So definitely some really cool builds. I like that they do show, you know, the two different versions assembled. Honestly surprised that we don't have, well, actually we do. So this one is the hunter rig painted, and then on the front side we have the kill rig painted. And so very cool model, definitely looking forward to getting in and start building with this. Just got to figure out exactly, you know, what we're going to do with it to make it fit with Age of Sigmar. I mean, I could even see, you know, doing some more advanced stuff on it, making it go with, you know, maybe like the Night Haunt type stuff with the black coach and like something like that. You know, make this some sort of undead, massive squig thing driving it. So a lot of different options. Just got to figure out, you know, exactly where we want to go with it. Now for Age of Sigmar, or I'm sorry, for Aeronautica Imperialis, we've got 5 different boxes to open. We've got the 2 individual boxes for the Eldar, and then the 2 for Space Marines. And then we have the box itself for Wrath of Angels. Now what I expect is, other than having basically more ships of each type in these boxes, like for the Xiphon Interceptors, there comes with 6 in this box, where the main box itself comes with 3. The Storm Eagles, it's 2 in this box as well as 2 in Wrath of Angels. And the Phoenix Bombers is 3, where it's 3 in Wrath of Angels, and then the Nightwing Squadron is 6 in this box, but 3 in Wrath of Angels. So by doing one of each of these boxes and Wrath of Angels, you're definitely going to get the same number of ships per side, so it's going to be a lot more balanced doing it that way. And then also with each of these boxes, you do get a transfer sheet as well. So we're going to go ahead and start with Wrath of Angels. From what I've seen so far, the loadouts for the different ships are going to be exactly the same from these to the individual boxes. So we're not going to spend a lot of time looking at the sprues, just taking a look to see the transfer seats and see if there's anything else that comes in the box. So we start off with our bag of bases. We have 2 sprues per side, and they're the half sprues. Our bag of dice. Our divider.
Anything?
No, video.
Oh. Alright, I will see you later then.
Good night.
Good night.
And we have our rule book. It looks like some tokens and probably some sort of starter guide rule thing. We have our play mats, double-sided. We have one thing of decals. Looks like okay, so it looks like half of it is for the Eldar, and then the other half is for the Space Marines. Now, one thing that did surprise me is that with this release, we didn't get another campaign book. So right here we have our assembly guides, and the backside, which this is different compared to the previous releases, is that we actually have basically the card to use, as well as the the rules for the missiles and such. So one side we have our lava board. The other side looks more like a moon. And one thing I do love about each release is that the maps are vastly different release to release. Basically each for a different theater of battle. And from what I've read is that these new ships are also fully compatible with the campaigns that we've already seen release. We also have our different height clear flight bases, or kind of extensions. So here's our rule book. Now I expect that with this being the newest version of the rules that it will have anything from the FAQ already added into it from previous iterations, of course. So this is your starter scenarios, like I was expecting. So we have 3 starter scenarios there. We have our movement diagram, actually 2 of them, 1 per side, and also a quick reference sheet for the rules. We have our tokens for the wounds. Looks like for stalling, doing a spiral, and then our movement, or our maneuver selection. Now, go ahead and separate these out. So starting with the Eldar rather. So we have two different ships. This one which is the Nightwing. It does have 3 positions that you can actually place the wings in. I believe that's more for aesthetics than anything else, basically showing like transitioning from different flight patterns, but have no actual real effect on the game from what I understand. Now with those ships, they're mostly very sleek, so it's very smooth, not a ton of detail on them. And the same goes for the Phoenix bombers, which I actually do have a bit more detail on them. And then with the Storm Eagles, we can have 2 of those now. With the Imperial ships, we have a ton of detail on them already, so nothing surprising there. But the ships absolutely look fantastic. Now, I've seen pictures of the actual to scale Storm Eagles, and compared the image to the Aeronautica Storm Eagles, and they look nearly identical. So I love the attention to detail on them. Now with the Interceptor Squadron, I've never seen these ships before, so I don't know if they look like how they normally do. And with the Eldar ones, the only ones I've actually seen before were the Phoenix bombers. But again, a good amount of detail. The ships definitely are going to look awesome on the field. Now, me personally, I would not go with the green color scheme that they used, which is for the Salamanders. But I'd probably go with more like black for the Black Templars. But that's just my personal preference. So since the sprues are going to be the same, we're going to go ahead and open these up real quick and just see if there's anything different than what we get in the main box, other than just more ships. So with this box, since we get 2 of the Storm Eagles, I'm expecting to see a single sprue in here to match what we have in the box. That's correct. We have our assembly guide, our 2 bases, and then we actually have a bigger transfer sheet, so it looks like more transfer options on there as well. It actually looks like more options as far as the different factions for the Space Marines. And looking at a quick glance, sprue looks pretty much the same. And actually, let me just double check. Yeah, so those are the same. So basically, the only real difference to getting these versus the 2 that you get in the main box is that you get more decal options. One thing I did not see in the decals for the main box is I did not see Space Wolves as an option, and here we did have a Space Wolf decal option. Now with this being twice as many, I expected 2 sprues. We again have the same assembly guide. our 6 bases, our 6 stands. And this one comes with 2 of the decals sheets. And they look to be the same as in the other Space Marine box, so no surprises there. I believe I dropped one of the, yep, I did. All right. Now, a couple items that did also release that are available for pre-order at the same time is they've re-released the Ork and Imperium ground assets, as well as the cards for both of the new factions. So that would be for all your planes, all of your weaponry, your pilots, things like that. So this, again, I'm expecting 2 sprues and 2 decal sheets, just like what we already saw in the Space Marine box. So it's actually 1 decal sheet, our 2 sprues, which is no surprise because it's twice as many ships. We have our 6 bases and then 6 sets of our flight extension pieces, whatever you want to call them. Alright, and then lastly, the Phoenix Bomber Squadron. So same number of ships, so it should only be 1 sprue, and then I'm assuming 1 decal sheet as well. Yep, so 1 decal sheet. We have the 1 sprue again. Three bases, 3 stands, extensions. So no big surprises there. Definitely looking forward to building and painting these ships. I know for the Eldar, I'm leaning towards doing the reds that they actually have on the box. I don't know much about the different sub-factions for the Eldar. Only that I like the ships look in red. So thank you to Games Workshop for sending those items. Definitely looking forward to getting in and building and playing with all of them. And as always, thank you to all my viewers for watching. Remember that these items were sent for the purpose of this video by Games Workshop, and but them sending the items guarantees that we will share them in a video, but does not guarantee a set opinion. I know I say it pretty much every time, but we value honesty above all else, so we would rather give a bad review on an item honestly than to falsely give a good one. But that's our personal preference. So for next week, we actually have a couple items from our friends over at Exploding Kittens that we'll be sharing. So something to look forward to there. A little deviation away from the usual Games Workshop stuff. And the week after that, we'll return back to some of the Games Workshop stuff. and currently don't know exactly yet what we should expect to be seen, but we should be doing the Barnes & Noble boxes here very shortly, so something else to look forward to as well. But thank you guys for watching. As always, I will catch you all next week at our usual time, and until then, good night.